Are we about to witness the collapse of Magic the Gathering's reserve list? It's over. It's done. It's time to turn to a new chapter. One that does not contain Magic the Gathering's reserve list. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here, and thanks a lot for hanging out with me on the channel today. I received a whole bunch of emails in the last 48 hours asking me about the reserve list issues going on right now. And we'll discuss that during this video about what I think is happening and what some of the issues and resolutions will happen going forward. Number one, the idea that we have some stores not accepting higher end reserve list cards. I understand that can be an issue. But when you break that issue down into smaller pieces, it has nothing to do with how players feel about the reserve list. It is cash availability. We're in a strained world right now. Money is tight. Inflation is rampant. Smaller LGSs, even bigger stores that have overhead, are trying to find ways to save cash, raise capital, and keep churning out the new products. A lot of stores took a bath on Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate, and it's sitting on their shelves right now. They cannot afford to pay some player trading in for $4,000 an alpha or beta time walk. They don't have the cash. They would rather take that $3,000, $4,000 and work it toward new products they know will move in smaller allotments at a nice steady pace. Although it can be amazing for a store to have power cards in their shelves at the LGS level, it also is dead money sitting there until some player with a big wallet or big tax refund or some way they come into a windfall of cash to come along and buy that card. But a cash-strapped store does not equate to third-party people not being interested in reserve list cards. This is where a lot of people have it wrong. When you look at the world right now, with inflation going rampant everywhere, people uncertain about things, you start looking at things like the stock market, the NASDAQ, the TSX, and look what they're at. Prices are falling all over the place for a variety of stocks. Look at Bitcoin. Look what's happening. Of course, that affects any other market out there, and the Magic market is no different. The finance side of Magic is tied to everything else in the real world. It is a luxury good. It doesn't feed you, it doesn't clothe you, it's a game. So that means it's intangible that way. It's not providing food or shelter. So it is subject to all the same strains as everything else in the world. When the markets do bad, some of those Magic cards get dragged down too. And they go down big. But if you think of the stock market and the reserve list as a group of stocks, Soldevi Excavations being my favorite one right now. You guys know I love my Soldevi. When you look at Soldevi Excavations, you say there's 343,000 surviving copies of that card. And somebody owns 50, somebody owns 100, some people own one share. It shares in a company until that whole 343,000 are completely gone. Or whatever number it may be. I'm not looking it up right now. I'm using it as the analogy of the conversation. When you see that, as any stock falls, there are certain price points where people will start to buy a certain stock. I have been buying bank stocks as they fall in price because I know they're going to rebound. And you just start pricing in at certain points saying, yeah, I'll buy 5 here, I'll buy 10 there. And you're building up small positions at a discount, at a deal. Now, when we look at the reserve list the same way, and you see all those stocks of reserve list and as things are falling in price, there are players out there waiting to buy them at a certain price point. They're hoping it hits their all-time low, like they're going to be, I hope it hits like $80, then I'm going to buy a null rod. I'm hoping Soldevi Excavation goes down to $5, $6 so I can just clear them out again. There are people waiting for those moments. And if they do come along, they're ready to pull the trigger. They have planned for it, they are prepared for it, because these things go in cycles. They come around. Sometimes it feels like the Matrix. It's that deja vu scene with the cat walking by and it's like a repeat. This is a repeat. We have gone through this before. This isn't my first rodeo with this. I was watching other YouTubers go through it before, and I've experienced it myself. But I didn't spend, and you guys didn't spend thousands of dollars on reserve list cards if you didn't believe the reserve list was going to hold. But prices going down, new opportunities knocking at the door because things have never been lower in such a long period of time, this is the moment that some people will pull the trigger on certain cards if they hit the right level that you just can't ignore it anymore. If somebody walked up to you and said, I'm putting 10,000 various reserve list lands on the market, all dual lands, but I'm putting them all between $50 and $100, how long would that take to sell out? How many people would be flipping into those saying, I can just hold these for 2 minutes and then resell them? They would be gone almost instantaneously. There is a bottom floor for people who even hate the reserve list to start buying. There always is. It's the people who hold on the longest, though, that will see the greatest gains over their lifetime of collecting any collectible. Magic is no different. It has highs and lows. It goes through cycles. Sometimes it's once in a lifetime. Sometimes it's every few years. We don't determine that. Do I know how long this cycle is going to last? No. But I know enough to pay attention to it, to focus on certain cards I'm after, and to make sure if they hit the new lows that I'm hoping to grab cards at, that I'm prepared to pull the trigger and take that opportunity. Because I do believe they'll bounce back. I do believe they will come back around. And you're not going to see me selling any of my reserve list cards. I buy reserve list cards. I don't sell them. I hold on to my collection and I build on those slowly, brick by brick, like I'm building a new Lego tower. I think the last time I was really concerned about the reserve list is when I considered price fixing. If enough of the stores, the bigger LGSs got together with a whole bunch of the online retailers and they all agreed to reset the pricing for certain reserve list cards, dragging those prices down and making them less valuable. They could do that. I mean, I don't know if they would, but that is one of those things that's like itched in my brain for years. The idea that if they just said, we're not buying any cards unless they're at this price point. But if they do it across the board, would that have an effect on reserve list pricing for some of these cards? It may or may not, depending on how that player views their personal collection, because they could go looking at one store and say, oh, this Black Lotus is only being offered at like $9,000. I thought it was a $30,000 card. And then he starts looking around at other stores and see they all have it listed for $9,000. If enough stores do that, you might find players who would sell into that market because they think they are getting the best deal because everyone is uniform. But again, when you're looking at reserve list cards, because there is no central pricing structure for what we value these cards at, there's, finance blocks that tell us, hey, this is the price right now for Soldevi Excavations. Here's the price for Metalworker. Those prices could change at any time. If a whole bunch of people do a buyout, if a whole bunch of copies enter the market, they get affected like everything else. But there is no central system saying that's what the card is worth. I could say a Soldevi Excavation's only worth $1 to me. So I'm waiting for that price to hit $1. It may never hit $1, but there will be people out there who say that card is not worth more than $5. It never should be, and I'm not touching it unless it gets there. Price fixing, if enough stores got together, that could become a thing. That's just one of those things that I've always thought scared me a little bit. If I spent $4,000 buying a Mox, and then I find out 2 years later when all this is taking effect that I can only sell it for $2. Right? It makes you less likely to sell your cards, that's for sure, or finding a different outlet to sell your cards outside of LGS and some of the big boy stores, which are usually the most convenient and secure ways of selling our cards. But when you bring this all back to that central conversation of what will happen with the reserve list, is it going to collapse? No, it's not going to collapse. I see no indicators, no mass sell-offs, no dumping of tens of thousands of cards onto the market to say anything's collapsing. This is another cycle. It is another roundabout way of the market recorrecting itself and setting the new levels, the new price points, the new bottom for anyone who wants to buy into these cards. And it's being set by players like us who are buying on the way down or waiting for it to hit new levels. the reserve list is not something that Wizards of the Coast, as far as I can tell, has any intention of stepping into that field of battle. They don't want to hear it from people who've invested tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or in some cases, millions of dollars. They just don't want to do that fight anymore. I don't see it happening. They're going to leave it alone. And you never know. If they've got it sitting there on the back burner of their warehouse central location Batcave, that they're going to bring out, Commander Legends is doing pretty good. You know, EDH is a big format. How can we make some more money? Well, let's do old school masters. Let's do legacy masters. And they create a whole new set base on the old school cards. Remember, it says they can't make the exact same card. It doesn't mean they can't find some parallel cards to be paired off with reserve list cards and make a whole new section of the game. They've already got tons of other formats. Nothing stops them from broadening out and adding a vintage, legacy, old school format officially and building an entire new collection through the R&D department to make it blossom and sell it at a premium price, saying this is the high-end Magic. $700 a box for 24 packs. It'll happen if they want it to happen. Never underestimate a company's greed. So guys, in conclusion, this is not the fall of Rome. This is not the cataclysm that will bring down Magic the Gathering's reserve list. Your cards are safe. This is a price correction. If anything, it's opportunity knocking. Take advantage of it. I am looking forward to reading the comments on this video to see what you guys think is happening out there. It is going to be a great time for those of you looking to buy some cards, and I hope people remember to take advantage of it if you're able to. It won't be for everyone because the cards are still pretty pricey. Thanks a lot for hanging out with me today. I hope you're having an awesome day wherever you are in the world of Magic, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. All right, guys, you see that there? That's right. 401 Games, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. This shout out goes out to them. And do you know why? Because they found out that I was having a 10K party. They're like, you're having a 10K party? That's amazing. We want to participate. So 401 Games reached out, contacted me and said, you know what? We are going to donate one whole box of Double Masters 2022 draft box to your channel to give away to one lucky viewer. That's right, they're helping celebrate my 10K party, and now you guys all get to get in on it. In the comments section of only this video, you must put 401 Games right there in the comments section, so I know you've watched the video, you've gotten to this point. Then you're going to have to email me at alanya@hotmail.com. That email can be found in every description of every video I make. My email is there for contacting. And in that email, you will have to put your comment name, because everyone has different comment names and real email names. I need to be able to match up your name to that email and have a way of reaching you if you win. Everyone who enters the contest properly will have their name put on a wheel. I will spin that wheel on a live stream to make sure it's not tampered with, and one of you guys will win that box. I will do a content opening of that box, share the video with everyone, and mail all the contents to you wherever you are in the world. This is a big thank you and a big shout out to 401 Games for allowing me the opportunity to present this to my viewers. They've been a great supporter of my channel since the beginning. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Guys, I hope you all appreciate what they've done for us. It's a big, huge party. We're going to enjoy ourselves. The 10K party is almost here, and we get to celebrate just a little bit more with a free giveaway brought to you by 401 Games. Thanks a lot, guys. I can't wait to see how many people enter. We are going to have a good time with this. I'll see you all tomorrow. And of course, a big shout out to all my fantastic Patreon supporters. Thank you so much, guys, for sticking by me month in, month out. You guys are amazing. Patrons make the world go round. Tell me that's not crazy. Tell me that's not crazy. They said, hey, we want to celebrate with you. We like your channel. You're awesome. You shop at our store. Here you go. Have a box of Double Masters. Give it away to a lucky viewer. That is awesome. You're the special people. You better be entering. Whew. Thank you, 401 Games. Thank you so much, guys. This is why I shop there. Easy place to experience. Good delivery. I don't think I've ever had a mix-up, actually. No. You guys are awesome. 401, man. Especially pre-release pricing, guys. You can't beat it. All right. Anyway, I'm done. I'm happy. I hope you guys are happy too. That 10K party is getting this like party started, you know? Gonna have a good time with it. All right. Enough of me yammering on. Have an awesome day, guys. Make sure you enter. Get into that comment section. 401 Games, and then email me.